take the place. Decided to light a fire, and then the Bishop Fisha Poisson, didn't like that, so he lashed out at y'all. And by the time that you had like beaten him down, Crusaders had arrived. They slaughtered everybody, with the assistance, I guess, of Avars. But you guys fled with at least one of your party having gone down. You did get a long rest that night, and then I believe, Avars, you also woke up to scratches around where you were sleeping and tears at the seams of your pockets.
Ah, yes. Animalistic in nature, right?
Yeah, correct. It was like claws almost.
Right.
But you wake up, and it's another one of those kind of gray, overcast days. A little bit of debris in the air. The marsh is starting to get a little bit more saturated. So you kind of realize within the next couple days, if you keep moving south at the same pace, it's likely to become very, very marshy, difficult terrain, which is going to make things pretty hard for movement. It'll basically have your movement at some point, you're realizing, as well as setting up camp is going to be pretty hard. You also notice, while you're waking up in the, I guess in like the morning mist, you might even call it, it's kind of that pervasive fog of war that's always kind of happening in the apocalypse. You see a little shadow moving around just at the edge of where you can see to the south. Looks like it has seen you also. It's staying still for a while, then it'll move a little bit and stay still. But Avars, your daughter asks you what happened to the people that were living in town. She saw the fires, and she sees that Izzy's not doing well after last night, and she's concerned because she knows that there was at least one little girl left in town.
We've seen conflict before, right? Like, we've been through towns that have been ransacked and attacked and stuff, right?
You've seen bits here and there, but this being so close, based on you've basically saved most that was in trouble up to this point. She's surprised that they're not with us, and seeing the fire that was there last night, she's wondering what happened.
What time of day is it?
It's morning still.
Okay. I'll take her on a walk. It's time for a hard parental talk.
Let's do it.
About reality.
What do you tell her?
I mean, I'll ask her, like, what... how does she feel about things? What does she think has happened?
She thinks
like, I'll start
that the people didn't make it.
I'll meet her where she's at first before I
Right.
start that conversation.
She saw the fire. She knows that there was at least one girl and the four moms still in town, and that they didn't come back with you,
Right.
along with that blazing flame. So she's assuming the worst, but she's also worried because, like I said, you basically saved everybody else recently. What happened to these people? Why didn't they make it? She knows the situation was Crusaders make the town. If they're still there, they're dead.
Mm-hmm.
She's hoping that the other little girl didn't die.
I don't know if the other girl died or not.
You do know.
Okay, because I only remember there being like 4 women.
There's 4 women and 1 girl in town.
Okay.
The 3 women that didn't have their child had lost them. The most recent one.
Okay.
They were mourning as you kind of made it there.
Yeah. I'll basically explain to her, like, we try our best each time, which is how we've gotten to the large group of people we're taking care of. that rely on us now. And, you know, we tried our best, but we couldn't plan for what actually had happened. And we were lucky to get out of there, as it were, which is why, you know, I sent her away with Ida, and I forget Sabina's character's name. Ida and Kat. That's why I sent her with everyone else, with Ida and Kat, because I trusted her to, you know, take care of the greater group of people, while, you know, we tried to serve as a distraction to hopefully find a way to slip away, which we ended up doing. Izzy barely got away with his life, and to be fair, all of us barely got away with our lives. In many more words and much more eloquently than I will state here, I'll basically tell her like a utilitarian, like greater good kind of a thing. There may come a time where I may not come out of something of my own choice because I am allowing the people I care about to keep going. And when that moment comes, she needs to step into my shoes. And I will take off my ring, one of my rings that I'm wearing, and give it to her as like a kind of symbolic gesture of that, like, passing down.
She kind of walks along with you as head down. She doesn't seem like she loves that answer, but she kind of understands it. She gets the ring, she starts...
Well, I'll break the tension with like a couple jokes as well. Like, I understand it's heavy. I'm gonna, you know, acknowledge the heavy feeling that she also feels. Tell her, like, it's valid to feel that. And just like things... We're in a new world, a new reality, and we've been chosen to live in it, right? We have assumed a special role in the world, and this is our portion of it. But keep going.
Yeah, if that's all you wanna, or if that's the spiel you wanna give her, then
Yep, that's most of it.
Kind of accepts it and walks along with you.
Do you have any other questions?
No, she doesn't seem very talkative after that.
That's fair. I'll tell her. Yeah, I'll tell her if she ever, you know, feels uneasy, or if things just don't make sense, to, you know, come talk to me or her mother.
Okay.
We're always there.
Now that we're back with the group, did we want to proceed with travel? I don't know if you wanted to continue going south, change direction at all, but you're just south of where you were in that town 6 days in to your trek, which looks like it's going to turn into a little bit longer of a trek based on the marshy conditions.
Real quick,
I'll leave that up to the group. Yeah.
Can I ask my daughter a couple questions?
Yeah, for sure.
Was she able to sleep last night?
Yeah.
Like a normal sleep? Good sleep?
As good as it can be on the roads. Doesn't sound like she had any like nightmares or anything. It's rough falling asleep,
yeah,
but
wasn't up in the middle of the night for an extended period or anything.
Right. She knew that you guys were at least there, the party, so
okay.
We took some solace in it.
I'll ask her if she's seen any furry animals scurrying about since we've gone past that village.
She hasn't seen any like furry animals, but she's seen more frogs. More frogs than there were before.
Okay. And there's nothing strange or out of place about her physicality?
What do you mean for physicality?
Like if she's a were-rat now, she doesn't have like a tuft of fur somewhere.
No.
Okay,
not
cool. Just
that I
making sure.
noticed, at least. Is that something that?
Cool.
Okay.
Just want to make sure. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
scratches. I'm sleeping. You know.
Yeah.
you know,
No. She,
weird things.
give her a quick peek, and
Mhm.
no, she doesn't have any like little rat teeth or anything to show.
Great.
No.
Yeah, no like tufts of fur tucked under her collar or something.
Right.
Great.
Yeah.
Cool. That's all I got.
Okay. Floor's open for if you guys want to like do any hunting, or if you want to march and then do downtime stuff, or I'll leave that up to y'all. But you also have to expend the food and water for the day.
I think we should get some distance. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
No, we should. If we're not getting stuff to like travel with right now, I don't want to be anywhere near a town that we just helped burn down, I guess.
I mean, we're like a day's travel away, right?
You're as far as you could march without becoming exhausted from moving throughout the day and then
But, like,
trying to move through the night also. So you
hours
kind of
away,
move
right?
away, set up camp. At least an hour or two. I wouldn't say you'd be able to make it too far into the night.
Okay.
Just for if you did try to travel too much further, you would definitely take a level of exhaustion.
Yeah, I agree.
Far
We
enough
should.
where
We should
it
continue.
was like on the you couldn't see the flames anymore.
Cool. Yeah, we should continue making distance.
Okay.
We do need to hunt.
Yeah. What are your food and water rations looking like?
We have 19
In
rations.
terms of water, we have 46 water rations.
Okay.
It's 22 a day, but
that's
6 a day water because of the alchemist jug that Ivar.
That keeps track of food and water. Cool. I can get but with the right group.
So yeah, we can move first if you wanted to make that distance and then travel. The travel is quiet. You hear the croaks of frogs from time to time. It's a little bit colder, and the water is not helping. It's kind of seeping through to your feet a little bit.
While we're traveling in these kind of miserable conditions, I kind of reach into like my pack real quick
Sure.
and pull out like just a sprig of mistletoe
Mhm.
and go and kind of wave my hand over it and go kind of muddle some words in Druid, and a bunch of berries appear in my hands. I start passing them out to everyone and cast Good Berry.
Oh yeah.
And everyone's got at least, it counts as one ration for the day. It's just a little berry, but it'll be up. So kind of just start like passing them out. Like, oh, it's not much, but here you go.
Oh yeah. That makes 10, you said?
It can make up to 10. So I don't know how many people we have with us, but I have 10 berries. So
It's quite a bit that you got. Let me pop over to that.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
we have 22.
Yeah, 22 total. Well, 23 with the addition of maize.
Also,
Right.
But that'll definitely
Oh.
help.
Is
did
Maze
we
hunting?
get any gear last week? Again, I wasn't here last week, so I'm not 100% sure this town burning stuff. But did we get any more gear? So I can
Yeah,
actually...
do you guys want to fill them in, actually?
Yeah, we rolled into town that we were supposed to come into. It had a really creepy vibe.
Okay.
Turns out the priest of this church that everyone in town was hanging out in when we rolled up was a warlock. Attacked us. We
Oh,
knew
what?
we knew that crusaders were coming in. We made you post up at the top of the bell tower of the church to give us a heads up when they were coming. We saw they were coming. I made a distraction. and the priest attacked us once I did that. Because we tried to talk them to join us and leave this town because they're going to get slaughtered and killed by the Crusaders. They didn't listen, they attacked. So we fought back. Then the Crusaders came, slaughter ensued. We barely got out with our lives.
So are the Crusaders after us then?
They stuck into the
Doesn't
town
seem like
when we
it.
left.
Yeah.
But did the Crusaders attack us as well, or were
Yes.
they more just like, we're gonna kill everybody?
Technically,
They were fine
Izzy
until someone attacks them.
Izzy kind of attacked first, but I assumed with him that they were going to attack us or screw us
That was
anyway.
a
What's Izzy's?
good assumption.
Oh wait,
Top
no,
right,
his fake
yeah.
name
Izzy.
is Izzy.
Yeah, we have our character names and then yeah.
That's-
The
Oh,
intuition on
we have my actual name.
if they would strike you either way is correct. They were there to clear out the town and
Yeah.
take it as a base.
So I wanted to burn down the town if they were going to take it and kill everyone anyway. So I did.
Nice. Okay, I'm about
Oh
it.
yeah, it went up.
Cool. Glad we're on the same page. Don't tell my daughter.
Yeah, you pull him aside separate to tell him this.
I mean, I assume we're like out hunting, right?
Yeah.
Shooting the
yeah.
shit.
Maze
Maze can probably pick up on this conversation.
definitely.
Just like,
Yeah, so
dude, what?
you've burnt food, burnt water. You want to make some moves. So while you're moving, you're still moving south towards the mountain range between France and Spain, right? And kind of along the sea.
Probably.
Okay.
Maybe
So like
let's just say
first 30 minutes, you still see that same shadow, kind of along the edge. Doesn't look like it's threatening. Doesn't look like it's big.
whatever.
But it persists. It kind of shows up, disappears for a little bit. Shows up, disappears. But after a while, a second shadow starts to show up in the fog. Some of the NPCs are kind of taking note of it also as you guys are walking. They're starting to get a little worried. All this.
Are we all seeing the shadows?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was just letting you know that the NPCs are also seeing this and are like starting to be like, what the fuck? Like this time there were shadows. Wasn't
Should
sweet.
probably get civilians into the center of our travel party and have some people in front, people in back, and kind of keep an eye on what's going on. I don't think we should
marching
stop
order.
moving, but we should
Yeah.
definitely have a protective order.
Yeah. As this is
I
happening,
can hop in back.
the skies start to get a little bit darker. Doesn't look like it's raining currently, but it does look like the skies are starting to push in those really dark clouds. They'll probably be pouring at some point throughout the day. But as you continue a little bit further, do you guys investigate the shadows at all, or you just kind of keep marching in your formation? Marty, are you talking?
He asked if how much time do you have to spend investigating?
Sorry, can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much of an investment do we need? Do we need to spend hours, or can we just like slow our pace and like pay a lot of attention to them as we walk past?
I can send out my animal companion to kind of like go run around and see what's up. They're just off to the side of us, I don't know if it'll do much,
Brilliant
but
plan.
Cool. You guys want to do that then, or?
I'll just you'll kind of see me like fall back from the pack a little bit and like just kind of lay down this little tarp and glow from behind me, and then I'll just kind of like point off towards the weeds to our right real quick, and wherever the shadows are moving. So, ask to investigate.
So you're sending, these are little rats, right?
Yeah. So it's just my one rat.
What sound does the rat make?
I mean, what sound does the rat make?
I don't know. What sound does the rat make?
Whatever high-pitched squealing noise I don't want to make with my mouth.
What does that sound like?
Yeah, like that. Yeah. Like a creaking door, but like.
Oh yeah, they do.
Well, honestly, you don't really hear anything. So, rat is my own thing. It's totally flavor, but he's actually, since I'm going for this like plague doctor thing with the rats, he's a skeleton. He animates. I wave over him. He's completely treated just as a normal animal companion, so he doesn't get any actual buffs or anything from being undead. But kind of just like hangs out as a skeleton in my pocket, and I like unfold him and like do his thing, and like the bones have all these weird ruin cracks on him, and they glow when he comes to life. But
nice.
Same as Jasper. So, Jasper the rat, and he's gonna go venture off and kind of do a thing. So, you'll hear like maybe some little creaky bone sounds or something like that. But
do you have a way of talking to this rat, or like looking through its eyes or something?
Yeah, I don't have like it's the druids, they took a big with that whole thing, but I do have a couple of spells that allow me to communicate with him. So
Cool. He's gonna go out. You're gonna actually see one of the shadows that was along the, like, kind of the edge of that fog, dart off and run away from what you would assume is your little rat skeleton. When he arrives, you'll do your little talking to him thing. He tells you that he saw a little girl in the fog. Long black hair, tattered clothes. But looked healthy, that's what your little rat friend tells you. That's what Jasper says.
Okay. I mean, I'll pass it up the chain. Like, now, hey, we have some, at the very least, humans following us. I'm not sure of their intent or why they're following us so closely, but we have a couple of little critters following.
Do we know exactly how many it is?
Jasper told me he saw the one. Don't know how many past that.
Yeah, you've seen currently 2 shadows, kind of along different locations, different times, but you've seen 2 at the same time together.
Any kind of footprints?
Yeah, as you kind of move along, they're go ahead and roll me. No, you're good. Yeah, you see they're like small footprints.
Clawed? Do they look familiar?
They
to maybe something I woke up near.
Familiar, they're like small human footprints. That's what they look like.
Okay.
Based on like everybody in your group kind of like seeing them and like talking about them.
Gotcha. Okay.
I ask Grum if this little person, I don't think he specified, looks injured and needs help.
I mean, from what Jasper told me, she was doing okay. She didn't seem bold or rough or skinny or anything like that.
So should we not
Probably
invite her to...
explain her quick movements and her ability to keep up with us too. So anyone injured or beat up probably wouldn't be able to do that.
True. Should we not invite her to come stay with us?
I'm not sure if that's the best idea at the moment, but I mean,
It's a little girl on her own.
Saw a little figure with long black hair.
Technically, I guess that's what the rat would say, but like you can decipher it.
Okay. All right. Well then, I mean, if you would like to leave food out on maybe the edge of the territory when we set up camp or something, if they follow us that far, or I don't really know how I can go with you and assist you. I suppose I'm not the greatest person to bring around little kids. I assume. It's like little spores and weird shit start floating off of me, and my skeleton rat just sits in my hand.
Yeah, Jasper did let you know that it was like as soon as she saw Jasper, she was like out of there. So like she wasn't super enthused by seeing a skeleton rat. You would assume that's what made her dart.
Oh, I can come with, but I'll probably stay in the distance a little bit. I have some spells that can be hidden too, so outside of game, FYI.
Okay. Does anyone else want to come with us?
Am I on the hunt during this, or are we all marching?
This is like while you're marching,
I'll-
you're kind of doing things.
I'll tag along.
Okay. I'm going to ask Ida if I could have a ration or even a half ration to offer. I'm assuming Ida's the one that has them, or just at least can tally that.
Like let me check
We
my
only have
stores.
8. We
Okay.
need to save this for food for the people that are in our party right now.
I fed 10
I
people,
have a
so
14,
10 people
but,
have
I
had
mean,
full
it's a
ration
rough
for the
game.
day, but still like what,
13's fine.
12 people left?
13's fine.
Got it.
We have a bunch
Um,
of healers in the party.
Well, okay then. Maybe I won't do that.
There's plenty
Yeah.
of things you can find in the woods
It's true.
as food.
Well, yeah, why don't we do that then? Because I just feel like they've probably not eaten, or at least drinking anything. It's kind of like a peace offering to kind of be like, we're not gonna hurt you.
Water is easy to do.
You guys
Mhm.
want to stop and eat then, or
Where are we on our journey? Like, what's the setting right now?
still marsh? Like I said, the marsh is getting a little bit more saturated, so
Yeah,
eventually it's
can't.
going to be harder to move. You definitely know that the carts that you have with you, the 3 carts, are going to be a pain in the ass to move through the swamp once it gets to that point. But currently it's still swamp. Like it's southern France, but swamp.
If we offered them kindness if they approached us, would that be a proper middle ground? I don't think we can stop right now with it getting worse.
It's
So
true.
won't
as you
present
guys-
them with instant hostility, but like, gotta keep going.
as you guys are talking about this, to the south, where you guys are marching, you actually see 3 small shadows, in the just like right on the edge of that fog.
Human shaped.
Looks like they're, yeah.
I'll yell out.
Yell out what? Just yell at them.
Who's there?
Ah!
We've been trying to reach you about your car's warranty.
2 of them
Like
dart
a good
off,
neighbor.
and one of them stays at the edge, kind of puzzled.
Do any come out?
Not into the fog. They run away from you. The 2 that run.
I'll kind of like motion to the rest of the party to like just hold tight, and I'll take a few more steps forward and say the same thing again. Let's talk.
Your daughter darts towards the shapes in the fog.
Pass me?
Yes.
Can I try and grab her as she goes past?
Go ahead and roll me a athletics, dexterity of some sort.
I'll take a dex save. If
Okay.
that's a thing I can
You're
do.
trying to do a little grab.
Yeah, just quick reaction of like, wait, what? Snag. That's a 13.
So you just barely miss her.
I'm gonna yell out, "What are you doing? Where are you going?"
She doesn't answer. She just keeps bolting towards the shapes in the fog. The one that stayed also starts running away.
Sprinting.
Okay.
How close
I'm
is
following.
the shape in the fog?
So like if you're also sprinting, anyone who's moving, it's like right at the edge of
Distance.
the fog distance for you. Yeah.
I need distance. What's the actual distance?
120 feet. That's
Cool.
not like thick fog, but
Yep.
it's enough where it's
I'm gonna
floor, kind of.
I'm gonna cast a reflavored firebolt at it.
Oh, jeez. Sure.
Okay.
That's a spell attack, right?
Correct.
does
Attack
it-
your daughter?
No, at the shape.
No, the daughter's also chasing. But the shape that was at the edge.
I'm assuming my
So-
daughter is what, 20 feet in front of me.
Same line of
I'd say
fire, you
30.
know?
Okay, she's a quick one.
Yeah,
That's a
she's a-
non-natural 20.
Yeah, I mean it does crit damage if you want it to do crit damage. The way I'm rolling with crits is if you do a natural 20 or if you roll 10 above what you're trying to hit. That counts as like a quote-unquote crit.
I mean, sure. Do I even need to roll damage then? If you're like just tracking hits?
It depends how you wanna roll it. Like if you want it to be lethal or non-lethal, if you want it to be
I
glancing,
don't really
like,
get to choose non-lethal in this.
Okay.
That's 8 total.
8 damage. You see the shape in the fog collapse.
Okay, I'll keep sprinting until I get to it.
Your daughter's also sprinting. She gets to it first. And when you come upon it, you see that she's over the shape of a small girl. With a huge scorch mark along her face.
It's sonic damage, so
Oh, so, okay.
technically no markings, but
No markings. She's got big bruises from the blast damage that she took.
So you can
but
see
it's a little
her
girl.
childish features even the clearer.
Right, yeah.
right.
Her little child eyes are closed. Who else was following this?
I'm gonna yell at him and be like, "What are you doing? Like, don't just throw
Yeah,
things
you
at
also
people.
see this at
Just
this
throw
point.
spells around. Like,
I mean, I don't know if you know where we just ran away from. I don't like
Well,
you.
Cat didn't see any of it.
Yeah,
So...
you didn't see what me, Izzy, and Baron had just gone through, and we're not that far from it yet. I'm assuming there are really horrible things around here. Can I spend my last spell of the week and cure wounds the girl?
Yes.
Cool. Ooh, hell yeah.
How much does she gain?
10.
Nice. She goes back to full 5.
I got you.
This fucking-
She comes back.
Yeah. She fucking like starts hacking up a lung. Blood's coughing out. Little tears streaming down her face.
I'm gonna offer her
She's
water
very
and
worried.
just like sit her up. Like not stand her up, but just sit her up.
Yeah,
on
but
the
like
ground.
set up and then like
Yeah.
feeding her the water.
Yep.
Yeah, she drinks the water.
I'm gonna look
she
at my daughter
doesn't-
perplexed. At what, like, why'd you take off running?
She's focused on this little girl. She's trying to make sure that she's not hurt the second girl that she's seen in the apocalypse in
Okay.
a long time.
I'll wave over Cat
I
if she's
come
not
over.
already there.
Yeah. I offer the little girl my hand if she wants to hold it.
She takes it.
Cool.
While this is kind of going on, you do see the other two shadows in the fog. You at this point notice there's a little bit of a, what's a good word for it? Kind of like a mangrove, but it's like a small patch of mangrove in the middle of the forest. Kind of looks like it's a little raised. There's some like trees and tangles, and the two girls that were there dart into it. You can see that they also have similar features and long hair and whatnot as they run away.
Are you talking to me or Kat or both?
Both you and Kat, and technically your daughter.
I am going to
I'll just look at Kat and I'll follow her lead.
Okay. Gosh, I don't want to like leave this little girl, but I don't think Evars is the person to go after these children.
No, I'll
Don't
stick
think
with
they're
this
gonna
one.
be
I'll stick with this one.
okay. So I'm gonna look at the little girl, like squeeze her hand, be like, "It's okay," and I'm gonna go after the other two girls.
Did anybody else want to follow up with Avars and Kat? Or are you all hanging out with the NPCs?
I have to stick
Just-
back with him.
Kind of protect.
Baron will step up.
Does anyone need healing? Or
Y'all good?
I can do
You can,
that in
Jeeves?
the meantime.
So, Baron is moving up. Did you want to go in with Kat, or did you want to stay with Avars? Just so I know where everybody's at.
I'll stay back with Avars. We're still not sure exactly what's going on, right? So
And everybody else is sticking out with the NPCs.
Yeah, kind of. I think, or like Izzy's trying to organize them to be like a triangle around the group. Just like
Okay.
we don't know what's happening yet, watching out for threats and whatnot.
The storm at this point is rolling a little bit closer. You notice big crackles of thunder, and it's almost like a reddish hue to this storm cloud that's kind of rolling in. Looks like it'll arrive probably within the hour.
We're in a forest, so it's like a lot of trees.
So you're in a marsh. The people that ran off with the girl saw like a small mangrove of like tangled trees and brush and whatnot. Further to the south, that's where the two girls that they saw ran into.
I'm gonna try to get everyone to go to the trees. Just that we're not out in the open, on water, in a thunderstorm.
Yeah, it's
Is
a
there any-
petition that you can make with everybody that's hanging out with the NPCs.
Right. I mean, is it high enough ground? Is there any high ground? I guess.
It doesn't need to be high ground. It just needs. Because trees will probably get the lightning before we do.
just less low. Just
So
less
we'll
low.
be fine if we're with trees.
You don't want high ground. That's closer to the skies.
Yeah.
I
Closer
mean, we
to
want
lightning.
high ground
barely.
from not being in the soaking wet marsh
Yeah.
that we're about to find ourselves
Sure,
in.
sure.
But low ground is a tactical disadvantage. Every
High
situation.
but low ground, you know?
Fighting, disadvantage. Running, disadvantage. Cooking, disadvantage. You want slightly higher ground.
You were the
Lighting
chosen
Just-
in trees is one thing, but like onset of literally just hypothermia or whatever other weird survival issues come from being damp.
Have we
Probably
not
far
been?
more.
Have we not been like following a path, or are we
there's,
just?
there's no path.
going
It's like marsh
cross-country.
and you have a
Okay.
direction. Yeah,
Gotcha.
there's the opposite of anything that has anything to do with a path left in this area.
Any like game trails or anything?
There was kind of like a light game trail aspect to it where it was a little bit drier, but with everything being as saturated as and like wet as it is as you move south, those kind of cover over a lot quicker. You don't notice any like footprints or deer tracks or anything like that. You just kind of hear those the ribbits of like frogs and stuff at this point. But if Baron and Cat were going in, as you kind of approach the edge of that mangrove, you notice that there's it's very tangled. It's difficult terrain if you want to be moving through it, but you also notice that there's skulls on spikes, like sticks almost.
Sure.
There's feathers hanging from the trees. There's little like almost like dream catchers kind of up all over this area, and you also notice a eye hanging above what looks like a small hole in the ground as you make your way into this area.
Like an eyeball, or just like
Like an eyeball. Yeah, it's like hanging on the end of its like neural optical attachments.
Yeah.
Hanging above with like I said, more like little like flowers and feathers and like all kinds of stuff above this hole.
Yeah.
You hear little voices inside kind of echoing around. Baron and Cat, what do you do?
Can I roll like a religion and kind of get an idea of what I'm looking at?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I would do that, like what, a d20, and then add
Sounds cursed.
my thing.
Sounds
That's the
real
one.
cursed.
D20 plus religion.
That is a 12.
With a 12, you would know that this is some sort of non-Christian. It's a pagan of some sort, possibly Wiccan, or the equivalent in medieval times.
My people.
All right.
So almost druidic would be more time appropriate. I guess not really druidic, 'cause that's more nature. Anyway, okay, well, cool. So you said we heard little voices coming from where again?
It's the echoes of, like, it's not something that it seems like you can like decipher what it's saying at this point. Hey.
Okay.
Just with the amount of echo that's going around, you can tell it's more of a high-pitched, younger voice.
Got it.
It's not the deep, bellowing baritones.
Ooh, love
echoing through a
giggling
cave.
trees.
Children of the trees. Oh boy.
I'm gonna call out like very calmly, like, anyone here?
Cat and Baron, what are your passive perceptions? So it's 10 plus whatever your perception number is.
I forget what the passive. I remember we had this conversation.
10,
You just
10
said 10
plus
plus.
perception.
Yeah,
Mine's just
passive's just 10
15.
plus whatever your bonus is.
Okay.
Sorry, what was that?
So I'd have 12
Yeah,
because
what
I
was
have like I'm proficient in perception.
Mine is a 15.
Plus your wisdom.
My
Proficient plus wisdom.
is okay. So I'd be 14.
that? Okay. With the 14
plus
and the
2 plus
15,
2.
when you say that, when you kind of call out, you notice the eye twitch and almost look at you.
Great. Love it.
Oh, so we're calling to them.
Over with Avars and his daughter,
Yo.
hanging out with this little girl.
Sure am. We're having a tea party.
She coughs a little bit, and she kind of motions like she's trying to get up,
Stand up.
try to roll over, stand up, but she's still pretty, like she just took a pretty big blast, almost a critical blast, if you would.
She's also back up more than what I hit her with.
Well, I mean, max 5 still, like, she's back to full.
Okay.
But she stumbles and she has a hard time, so she starts to kind of almost crawl.
I'm going to ask her name. I'm going to ask, like, what is your name in all of the languages I know.
As soon as you speak French, I mean, she kind of gets what you're trying to do with the other languages, but she says her name is Francois.
Okay.
And you
I'm gonna ask if she
remember
likes
this
honey.
name- You remember this name from in town or at the chapel. That's one of the names of the daughters that were lost. She does like honey though.
Perfect.
She looks
Okay.
to the clouds and she looks worried though, and she still tries to move towards
I'll ask her what she sees when she looks up at the clouds.
thunder, danger. Whenever it's like this, we need to stay inside.
And where have you been staying?
She points over to the mangrove.
Guess that's where we're going.
Everybody with the NPCs, did you end up wanting to move the group more towards? Okay. By the time you get over to Avars and decide, you can all start heading over together towards the little mangrove.
Yeah, I'm gonna look real worried, but be like, I guess this is where we're headed, to the rest of the party as they kind of catch up.
Our Cat and Baron, now that you are seeing this eyeball look back at you, it kind of points down, looks back at you, points down, and then shakes, and you kind of hear the rattle and of the string that it's attached to and all the little ornaments that are on it. You almost as a whisper, as this kind of breeze wisps out towards you, it says enter.
Oh, that's all I need. I guess.
It is dark inside. You don't see any lights or anything.
Wait, what do you mean it's dark inside? Was there
Like inside the cave, like you don't see any like lights.
There's a cave? Oh, okay.
Yeah, the hole in the ground that the children ran into.
Did I miss that? Okay.
Oh no, I thought the hole was a lot smaller than a cave.
It's
No,
like
you're
any
good.
hole is technically a cave. Like
Okay. Let me see. What do I have? I do not have anything with that would give me light. This is good. This is great. Cool. Well, I look at Darren and I go, well, give me a second. I guess I look at Baron and I start walking forward towards it, into it. We're going caving.
Baron follows.
do you
He'll take
guys
it back, but he's like, all right.
do you guys have any kind of light source?
Nope.
My radiant personality.
You can kind of feel along the walls as you're going in,
Great.
but it seems like it once you get through this little opening, it does look like it opens up a little bit, big enough like 5 by
Wait,
5
I have-
kind of.
I have dark
situation.
vision.
You have dark vision?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that lets
So-
you see up to like what 30 feet in the dark,
60 feet.
60 feet in the dark. Okay, and Baron doesn't have any of that, right?
I do have
In like
echolocation.
darkness, it's
Ah.
in darkness it's dim.
I just hear Marty
Dark vision
like
is
distant.
okay.
You have echolocation?
You
What the
have
fuck?
echolocation?
joke. It's a joke.
No, I'm
It's
kidding.
fully a
Totally
joke.
kidding.
It's fully a joke.
If
Holy
you want, you
shit.
can.
That is a very specific inside joke.
Okay, but it wasn't about the inside joke. It was about being in a cave and it's
If-
dark and
if
like,
you
oh, she
had
has dark
echolocation,
vision.
that would
Everybody
work,
has
honestly,
magic.
like-
Baron's just a guy with
Yeah.
a bow, and I'm like, oh yeah, I got
Ooh.
Technically,
sonar.
the dark vision.
Did you want to
We
hold
chose
Baron's
to be
hand
good
as you walk
acrobatics
through
instead.
this cave? Because you can kind of see it. It
Yeah.
winds. It kind of. It's like cracky and crevicy. There's
I mean, if
like
you're scared,
stalagmites and stuff.
yeah.
But Baron can't see.
I'm gonna realize that Baron's having some trouble, and I'm gonna grab his hand.
I will take as a free action a quick gasp and then control myself.
No. So dark vision.
Roll
I think
Constitution.
proficiency.
I'm just talking about it. Everybody
Do I
else-
pass out from fear?
Someone's gonna have a torch. It's not all of us
Since
have
you're
it.
holding your friend's hand, no, you're good.
Might as well.
But everybody that was outside with the NPCs has made it to the edge of this this mangrove now. They see
Who's
the
that?
same thing.
Can you list who that
Sorry,
is?
what's that?
Can you list who that is?
Everybody who's not
Everyone
Cat or
aside from
Baron,
Cat and
I don't know who that is. So
literally
everyone but Cat and
everybody,
Baron.
including NPCs.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need a name
Cat and
for
Baron were
all
the
of
only
these.
ones who ran
Gotcha.
off into the mangrove. Everybody else was outside. NPCs caught up to you. You guys have now
Right.
made it to the mangrove and are seeing the same thing that they did, which is the dream catchers, the hanging eye over the hole once you make your way
Yep.
in. It seems pretty covered in this area. The NPCs are taking, like, everybody together is taking up the majority of the space here. They're not super thrilled about people going into the hole. They're wanting to stay outside. But once you get there, the little girl that's with you does start moving into the hole. She's kind of walking at this point. She's had
Confidently.
a little bit of time to, more confidently than she was before. She's still like wobbly, but she's able to walk.
Yeah, she's not
and your daughter's
terrified of
helping her.
an eyeball hanging or anything like
No,
that.
she's
so
not
yeah.
afraid of that. The eyeball, you see, everybody here has at least a perception 15, or somebody in this group. You notice
Yep.
that the eyeball does the same thing. It tracks her going in, and then it kind of peers at everybody around.
Can I spend some time investigating it?
Yeah. What kind of what are you looking for as a result of this investigation?
What magic is upon it? How is it doing this? Unattached to a living body.
That's arcane or arcana. Go ahead and roll.
I got you. It's a +3. 11.
You know that it's some sort of magic. It doesn't look like anything that you've seen before, but it looks like it is some sort of almost a remote connection. Whatever this is, it doesn't.
Someone
look like...
may be seeing through it.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay. I'll wave and then I'll leave.
You'll wave and then you'll what?
I'll wave at the eye, like to show non-hostility, and then I'll follow where everyone else is going.
It follows you in.
Cool.
Do you have any kind of dark vision or anything? Can you see in the dark?
I don't, but I'll light a torch.
Okay.
I'm assuming other people are lighting torches because not all of us have dark vision.
Yeah.
The NPCs
that's
sure
why
as
I'm
shit
asking if
don't.
somebody's lighting up a torch or anything. I must like the NPCs are very hesitant to go inside.
Oh.
They're
There's like 22.
they're pretty. They're 16.
16?
Yeah, 16.
16
that are chilling.
NPCs.
Okay.
Yeah. They're pretty comfortable starting to set up camp inside this mangrove for at least themselves. They say like, you fucking go ahead. We're gonna fucking post up here and keep an eye out. At least this is some sort of cover. They're kind of getting this idea across to you. But if everybody else wants to go in, they're like, have at it. Just leave the rations with us in case you don't come back. Okay.
I'm
Okay.
gonna stay up with the NPCs.
Okay. Who is going in? So we got Avars going
Yep.
in.
Yep. Cat?
I'll go.
Cat's already in. Baron's already
Cat and Baron
in.
are already in. Okay.
Ira, Izzy, or Maze, I believe.
I like nonchalantly, I guess, like volunteer to go
Tag
in as
along.
well. Yeah.
Okay.
Is my daughter trying to go in as well?
So yeah, your daughter was actually helping the little girl walk.
Get in?
So she's already in the cave.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna stay within close proximity as best I can. You know.
Cat
I'll
and
also
Baron.
Okay.
Okay, Ira's going.
Is
Izzy's going too. Cool.
Swizzle.
Zogrum's the only one staying outside. Cat and Baron, as you kind of make your way through these tunnels, you slowly see that there's a little bit of glowing residue on the walls. It's almost like the bioluminescence of mushrooms that are growing on the walls. Little layer of water in this area, but it's kind of winding back and forth through these same kind of spires. Cat, you can actually see just barely that there's little handprints kind of dug into the stone every once in a while. And it looks like they're pretty worn. But as you continue, you see almost a break in the path, one that goes to the right. This looks like it's got a little bit of vines and like hanging. What would I call it? What are they like? It's almost like a string with a bunch of like bamboo kind of on it, where it's kind of like stacked and it makes noise as you walk through it. You kind of see that hanging with the vines. But
it's like a bead curtain, but a warning system.
Correct, yeah. And then to the left you see just more water. It looks like it gets kind of the cave shifts down a little bit into the water. And you hear footsteps behind you.
Behind us.
What was that?
Cat and Baron do.
Can you repeat again about the water? I did not understand what you said.
So there's the break to the right and then the break to the left. To the right is the vines and the quote-unquote security system. To the left, it looks like the cave continues, but it dips down, like it's not flat like the other one is, or like at least above water, because there's a little pool of water to the right as the tunnel kind of dips and then kind of fades into that. With your blind sight or your dark vision, you still can't see through the water, but it is pretty dark water.
Can I listen?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a listen check.
What? How does a listen work? Listen check work here?
Perception. Active
It's a what, sorry?
Perceptional.
Perceptional, okay. Not 20.
Okay, yeah. With your nat 20, you hear the voices coming from just a very faint echo coming from that right hall as you're paying attention. You also notice the vines and the hanging ropes just barely swinging. The water is very, very still.
So I'm gonna tell Kat. I'll be like, "Oh, it's still okay." I'm gonna tell Kat. So I hear the voices to the right, some weird hanging stuff here. I think that's where we have to go. With my English accent, I'm not trying today. That's gonna be horrible.
Do it.
Right. Okay, the voice to the right. Hanging ropes here. Unsure as what to do about them, but I think that's up halfway through. I think.
I could work in my Russian.
Yeah.
I'd agree.
She says to herself in third person.
You hear the little footsteps that were coming behind you. You see Avars's daughter as well as the little girl. They continue walking. It looks like the little girl kind of knows where she's going. She makes her way over towards where the vines are and then starts to wiggle through.
We will follow her.
They're children. We're adults. They can wiggle through. We can trip every single rope they're through.
It's like one of those like bead things that you see, except it's made out of string and bamboo. It's like what people used to have in their doorways.
An alarm.
Oh,
Besides, we're not.
It's wrapped for some reason. I'm like, it's like a couple of like well-placed ropes.
With your passive insight, you would know that it's a rudimentary alarm system.
If Matas had passive insight, who he doesn't. We're going through.
Okay.
Going through.
Besides, we're not trying to hide that we're here.
Soon after, you see Avars, Ira, and Izzy, as well as Maze, join you in this cave. The torchlight illuminates everything at this point, and Baron is still holding Kat's hand from the darkness. everybody's together now, so if y'all want to make a decision of what to do.
Go right.
I would agree. It seems that the right is possibly where the girls are hiding.
Right, when we go.
Just march on through.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, the group of you make your way through. You do end up making a little bit of a ruckus as you're going through because of the shaking, the rattling of these ropes. But as you round this bend through these vines, you come to a little bit of a clearing where you see firelight, campfire, and you see these two little girls sitting in front of it. And then behind the fire, you see an old lady. She's got one missing eye,
Hello, children.
gray, stringy hair, bones and necklaces and stuff hanging from her.
Machote.
She's shaking her hands, causing everything to rattle, and then she stops, and you can see her one eye open and dart over to you guys. Have you
Are
brought
the little girls?
the little one?
Oh, is that what she? Sorry, is that what she said?
Mhm. All
She's
this
like right
while-
next to me, isn't she? Like,
So as you come into this room, there's the campfire in the middle of it. There's the two girls sitting, and then there's behind the fire, the old lady that's shaking. She's looking at you, and then Avars's daughter and the third girl are also sitting down at this point by the fire.
I don't think we're there yet, though. I think we're still
Mhm.
catching up.
No, you've caught up at this
we're
point.
There, we're there with them.
While they
Oh,
were
we're with the
deciding,
old
you
lady?
guys had caught up.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys had made it through the vines.
What
you
did the
said.
lady do when she saw us?
Her like eye
She
darted
stopped her
over.
shaking, and she opened her eye, darted it over to you, and asked if you were the ones who brought the girl.
Yes.
Do you know of the other
Which other do you speak of?
from the chapel?
The other,
Haunted by
the other girl?
by the bishop.
Unfortunately, no.
Shame. Were any lost?
Any what?
Any of the civilians?
All of them.
Oh my God, there's fireworks going off. I'm sorry.
Parma, baby.
You fucking said that right.
Dude, there was a
Um,
big one. Set off every car alarm on our street.
oh, well, Lakewood, baby.
Cleveland, baby.
Yeah. Let's take a quick breakeroni because I need some water. And we'll come back in 10. Is that okay?
Totally.
sounds great.
Awesome. Thanks, friends.
So
Is
do
anyone staying for the break?
yeah. I'm probably gonna hit the bathroom real quick, but real quick powwow. Do we just break all the bad news, or do we act as stupid as possible and only tell her what she needs to know?
As someone who seems to be protecting these little girls, I think leaving out certain details would be really important.
Okay, cool. Because Avars would have just let everything out.
I
They're
think
little kids.
Kat is gonna
so-
kind of say this by her glare at you.
It's gonna harden
This
and
is why I'm
soften as
asking.
you speak. So if you start going a little too hard, she's gonna start. Then you soften. She goes.
Hey, I mean, you can stand next to me, put like link elbows, and give me a tight squeeze if I start trailing off down a path that I shouldn't be going down. So,
"Nah, they gotta know. They
Poke
gotta
you in the stomach, so you make a little like.
I mean, are
what's
you
his name?
are you a good talker at all, or should I not be
Am I
taking the
a
lead?
good- Am I a good talker? I feel like maybe. I don't know how I would tell.
Persuasion.
I'm looking. My
Deception.
charisma's not great. My perception's +5, and my persuasion is
Deception.
+3. Deception. Yeah, no, that's not a thing.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I can talk. If there ever needs to be a role, I'll take over for sure. But maybe you should take the lead on the RP end of things, and I'll pop in if I need to.
Yeah. So I'm also giving you a look because you literally just shot down one of these girls,
You don't know that.
and
Oh,
What?
just a minute ago? Yeah. Well, things happen.
yeah. So we'll see if she takes kindly to that.
Shot her
Just
down,
lost just a
brought her back
bargaining
up.
chip. Who just shoots down a harmless child in the woods?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you know that they were all harmless children? The random figures in the fog that apparently we couldn't tell were only 3 feet tall?
You know, I like to assume the best of people.
I'm
So-
glad you weren't with us in the last town. We
I did come
could
back.
not have assumed the best of anybody there.
I might not have murdered some people.
To be fair, we didn't even get a choice whether we wanted to murder or not.
There's always a choice.
Well...
Alright, but real questions.
Nervous giggles.
I still need a name
For
for this
for
kid.
the doggo? I mean, are you deciding between any, or are you just like clueless?
I am indifferent to every name I hear right now. Like, nothing seems to fit,
You're just looking for that one that tickles your fancy.
right? So, remember.
What about Gribukas?
Yeah, no, let's actually think of real names, please. Thank
I'm
you.
not kidding. The first thing I thought of when I saw that was Puddle.
Right?
I'm gonna
Puddle,
name
Puddle.
my dog Puddle.
Puddle's a good name.
He
That's
sure
a
is making
solid
'em.
name right there.
This is true. This is true. He is making some puddles.
Oh my god, what
I
a
keep trying to
nugget.
recommend Ruby, but
What a clumsy little
Nugget would be a
man.
good one too.
He's not really that clumsy, and he's extremely smart, which is annoying.
What a nugget.
Clyda?
That's so cute though.
Ooh, it's right here. Come here.
That's the thing. I'm trying to come up with a name.
Oh, Nugget, obviously.
I
So
think
the
we've
thing
pitched
about
that.
names, the thing about names is I want it to be unique, but also it has to be like, it has to be a real name. I even don't mind human names. I like names that have meaning or like a reference to something. But as a dog who's going to be a service dog, people are going to ask his name all the time, and I can't name him something
What was
kind
his-
of funny or stupid
what's
because
his
otherwise,
personality
Sure you can.
ow.
Macduff.
like? Is he more laid? Is he like more laid back as a puppy, or is he like?
He's extremely confident and curious.
Okay.
If it fits in his mouth, even if it doesn't fit in his mouth, it goes in his mouth. He's very, very smart. He figures things out very, very quickly.
Is he like does he get into stuff he shouldn't get into, or is he like pretty well?
All the time. Although I'm pretty strict on it just because... Oh, we're gonna go potty? We're gonna go potty on the mat. That's a great idea. So... good boy. Yeah, I mean... you have top marks. But yeah, I mean, honestly, super confident, gets into everything. Pretty much all the things that are great for a service dog are just terrible in puppies.
Yeah. Are you like
Because-
into any like books or like shows where like the character is very like straightforward, confident, but also like gets themselves
so-
into?
So some of the things that like people have put out, like Arthur. So my last prospect was named Merlin. My roommate suggested Griffin, which is short for Gryffindor.
Yeah.
I like. Yeah, Watson's also on the list. Dax is on the list from Star Trek.
Next is good.
I'm such a huge fan of so many things.
Yeah.
It's kind of ridiculous. You're so strong. Oh my goodness. How did that already get a rip? How did you do this already?
I think you
How
should
did
name
you
him
do this?
Korg.
What did you say?
Korg.
What is that from?
Korg.
Borg. Literally, the first thing I thought you said was Borg, and I was like, I'm not
Korg.
naming my dog Borg.
Korg. It's a character from Ragnarok.
Okay, I don't know it, but okay.
Sorry, Thor, Ragnarok.
I haven't seen it.
Thor,
Yeah.
no? Oh no.
He's a good character. I think you'd like him.
He's such a
Korg
good
the Walk?
character. He's
What
just
about
so
the
like
Walk mean?
straightforward and endearing.
Very
Is
kind.
Korg the rebellion dude? We
Yeah.
bought that.
Yeah.
Would you want it? Do you want a revolution?
He's just so kind about it.
He made pamphlets too.
Get out of here, ghost man.
Cord. C-O-R-D. I don't
It's
know why.
C-O-R-D.
Oh no, I'm talking like a separate name, like not Cord, but Cord.
Yeah.
A name like C-O-R-D would also work. I don't know. I like the sound of Cord. I think that works.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Interesting.
Got a good feel to it.
It's a good suggestion. I don't know if I'm sold on it. I apologize. I'm just really picky, but I'm
Fine.
loving getting suggestions.
You know what name I really
It's
like?
so
the
much
name-
better than, I don't know, Gooby, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Gooby.
I really like the name Asher. Asher's like a good wholesome name. Ash for
Asher's
short.
cute.
Oh, Asher's gonna shred up them slopes, dude.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not totally against human names.
good.
Like, I think if done right, they're good. The
Frank.
problem, like, I literally have some names that are like really cute, like Darcy or Atticus,
Just
but they're just such like.
name your dog Dick. Just imagine. Jonathan.
Johnny. It's not
Right?
bad. The problem is, it's just like right there. I have to wash my
Named him
hands now.
Johnny?
Much has changed.
What did you ask, Jeffrey?
You can also go a little bit out there and call him like Plato or something.
Ooh.
I can
Oh,
call him
What about
Socrates.
Da Vinci?
Da Vinci?
Where's my? What?
Socrates?
Ooh.
I was just saying Socrates.
Sucker toads, baby.
Socrates.
Aristotle.
Has anyone seen that movie?
Which one?
Yeah.
Bill and Ted's Wild Adventure. Is it Wild? Yeah.
Something like that. Bill and
Awesome
Ted's all you need to
Adventure?
know
You
about
call
it.
him, you
Wait,
call
Bill
him
and
Bo.
Ted's the third movie just came out.
Bill and Ted's
Really?
Real
Yeah, they just made out a
Adventure.
new movie, a new Bill and Ted movie.
I feel like I heard about this.
Rook might be a good name.
Yeah?
Jugay. Egg. Lauk. Raus.
I like the sharp left turn, just... Bill and Ted, yeah, the new movie just broke.
Gross. Alright, I will be right back because I think he needs to go. So,
Okay.
Call
see
him
you in a bit.
anybody back? No?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Oh, you're here. Okay.
I'm here.
Okay. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Oh, oh. Okay, are we starting again?
I
Are we
think
still
we're
on
gonna
break?
wait for Sabina to come back. And then we should be able to be good to go.
Do you have a couple more minutes? Or are we waiting on...
Yeah, just a few more, I think.
Okay, cool.
I think everybody else is /good. Yeah, I mean, if we want, we can just hop back into it because we're just having a conversation with a scary old lady. Anybody else down?
I mean, I'm all good.
Sure.
If everybody else is back, then yeah, the old lady hearing kind of Avar's answer. Little girl's hearing the answer. The little girls start to cry. The hag is, or the old lady is, very, very saddened by the news. And her hands kind of drop, and then kind of hover. Nope, I don't know if Murray's talking. I can see his little thing, but I can't hear him.
I think they're awake.
They're just talking with each other.
Okay, gotcha.
Us.
I just ran out of hummus.
No way.
It's delicious.
There's no way that's okay.
With dates and like walnut
Of course
butter.
you can.
I mean, I believe
Totally.
you, but
How much hummus
that's
is there
bizarre.
compared to potatoes?
All right, I need a roll call.
I think we're all here except for.
I will be the dragon. That's my role.
All right,
You're gonna be the dragon?
dessert hummus. Yay or nay?
Like, is it just like
Could work.
Define your
It's sweet, not savory.
Mess with a little bit of honey and some like fried raisins, delicious. Maybe some
Yeah.
almonds for
You know what?
crispiness.
Traitor. Traitor.
behind that. Very acidic.
Oh, dude, that'd be so good.
Are you in the habit of
Marty?
passing out
Sounds like
judgment
you're
on
betraying
things?
yourself.
And I literally work at a Mediterranean restaurant now, so like
Oh, no
I've
shit.
done that, and it's very good. So
All right,
Yeah.
all right,
Fight me.
all right. I guess we're fighting.
it's weird, but like I mean, just on some like pita or like literally just some like
After like the first few bites, you're like,
Crispy
oh,
bread.
Or
okay.
just like a spoonful of it.
because like the hummus
That's a
has
lot.
that little bit of like citrus or like
Straight to the
saltiness,
deep
and then
end.
like yeah, you top it with something that's not like or a fruit. Obviously, a dried fruit is like perfect for that, but
Yeah.
nothing like straight sugar. It's not like
Oh, for sure. But all right. Well, guess I got to be open-minded.
put it out.
All right. Well, I'm back. I'm back from cooking.
Welcome back.
Aloha. Like I was saying though, as you guys tell the old lady and the little girls all this information, little girls start to cry. Old lady stops with her hands up. She puts them over her heart, lowers her head, and she looks very saddened to hear that news.
What news did we tell the old lady? That the village was lost?
Yeah,
Okay.
that the people didn't make it.
Gotcha.
You see your daughter kind of glance back up at you, then keep consoling the little girl that you blasted.
Okay.
The old lady looks up and says, "Your friends are outside. Storm's rolling in. They should come in and take shelter from the storm."
Is there enough room for all of us?
It'll be tight, but it looks like
yes.
the numbers, like yeah, there's enough for you to basically like chill out in the tunnel, on the way to this area. Basically, it's long enough, windy enough, and we don't have visitors, so they'll be safe. Either way, I also have my eye out there, keeping an eye on things. So if somebody or something did come along, we'd know.
I'm gonna thank her graciously, and see who wants to volunteer to go back and bring them here.
I'll go.
We graciously accept.
You can spend the required amount of time to bring everybody in and set up what I would assume is for the night.
I want to ask her about her eye that's hanging out there.
Sure.
Is it hers?
She kind of points to the closed one and says,
Gotcha.
"Yeah."
Yep. Has anyone done it without their own eyes?
I don't know anybody else that's done this.
Oh. And how did you come upon it? How did you learn to do such a strange and remarkable feat?
Yeah. Things gotten a little weird since the event, and one day I passed out in the swamp, woke up, and there was a raven picking at my eye. As it flew off with my eye, I could still see. It's pretty disorienting, but
Odin vibes.
yeah, was able to keep that connection somehow.
Fascinating.
How did the children end up here?
The girls. I knew of the bishop's dealings.
I'll
Sounds like you
wiggle my
encountered him
fingers
also.
around my face, like the tentacle stuff, right?
She nods her head. The girls also saw this at one point or another. I found Marie out in the swamp one day and got her to safety. Slowly, we've been trying to get everybody out of his will, whatever dark force he had over the community. Sounds like we did as much as we could, though. The little girls kind of get up and walk over to a small table that's kind of set up on the side, open up a small box, and from inside they pull out what look like little wafers and start chomping on that. It's like little bread almost. She says that the girls were able to take this. It's what he was using to impose some sort of religious power over them.
Controlling mechanism, or
more not mental control as much as
Symbolic?
it creates mana. It feeds them, and it sounds like he was saying that it's God's will that he had these powers, but it wasn't his powers that were creating this. It seems like he was only able to create darker things.
Are you possibly familiar with the darker powers that he was wielding? Perhaps you grew
I-
up with stories about such curses.
I had seen in the night when I was observing the children, trying to find a way to get them out of town. Some of the darkness that was kind of taking over the chapel. I peered in and saw him hovering in the dark tendrils. But that's as much as I know. It didn't look like he was speaking the truth, but he was using whatever power he could to keep them under his control, keeping that community
why didn't the
going as
mothers
far
or
as possible.
anybody else come? Why just the little girls?
It seemed like the mothers believed. I was able to make contact with the girls, but the mothers were always praying in the chapel, and if not, then they were asleep. Their days were mostly spent tending to the bishop as he wanted.
Well, then we have you to thank for their safety.
Indeed. She reaches into the little box and pulls out these little almost wafers and hands them out to everybody. She says these will sustain you. These
Are they good
essentially have
berries?
Weren't they supposed to have berries?
basically good berries. Yeah.
Oh,
But they don't expire, so
Ooh.
as long as when you eat them, it creates enough to use elsewhere, and whatever he was creating after the girls took this seems to have created a little bit more of a control over the mothers.
Wait,
Yeah.
these are the same wafers that
So
like,
we
he was
shouldn't-
using?
Yes. So
Yeah.
should we not eat
eat them?
these?
So no, sorry. The wafers that the little box is creating with the relic inside, that's creating like regular, basically good berry wafers. It sounds like once the little girl took that from the community, whatever he was creating in lieu of this was poisoning their minds. So these are good. You're able to eat these.
Okay.
Whatever he was
My
doing
character's still suspiciously
was not
sitting in
good.
a side pocket somewhere.
I mean, yeah, you go ahead and do that. You see the little girls eating it; they're totally fine. Like, they're healthy, they're happy. Well, not happy. They're sad now, but
Everything they know is gone.
right.
But they have wafers.
They're in a little bit of a shutdown almost. They're just kind of eating and chilling together.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna look to Cat as to where we should go from here. Otherwise, I think we're just riding out the storm, right?
Yeah.
Stay as long as you need. It looks like you've saved a lot of souls along the way. You seem trustworthy.
I'm gonna ask if she knows, can she predict how long the storm is gonna last?
Usually it's about a day. It hasn't been one of the long ones in a while.
So these are regular storms.
It's they don't come with any kind of pattern, but when they do come, they're able to be expected to an extent.
That stuff that was out on the cave walls, how bright is that?
It's dim light.
Dim. But like
Yeah.
you can see it like clearly in the darkness though, right?
Oh
Very
yeah.
clearly.
Yeah.
We have like jars. Can I have a jar? Can I collect this substance
Oh, yeah.
that's on the walls?
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright, well.
Are you
my
just like
character
cutting
is-
off the top, or are you trying to like pull
It's
off?
like a liquid, right?
The fungus.
it's a
It's like a
fungus.
fungus. Yeah. You would
Is it
assume that there's
crumbly?
like a
Fungus could be like crumbly, right? No? Is it like mossy? Is it like moss-like?
It's like little mushroom caps almost.
Yeah.
And then the frills on the bottom seem to be releasing whatever these little bioluminescent spores are.
Okay. Well, I'll just take the tops then.
Okay.
Select a bag. Tops.
As someone who has studied herbalism, can I identify what it is?
You can. Do know what it is now. I'll basically send that to you later. And forgot that you had herbalism.
I do.
Mwahaha.
Let me pull this up.
It's something I need. I would like to take some with me to have for later use.
Can you make us bioluminesce permanently?
Yeah.
Panellus
It'd be pretty dope.
stipicus. No, wait.
Baron would like to be a glowing mushroom as well.
This is the guy. This is the
If I
guy.
eat it,
Sorry.
what happened?
The old lady kind of puts her hand to you before you put it in your mouth. She says, like, it'll last the night. You'll be okay if you can. You might want to pale, but you'd be okay if you did do that.
Ayahuasca,
What's
baby.
the protein fat to carb ratio?
Do I get all of my macros?
Can it be classified as a potato?
Oh
No.
my god, here we go! Solanum whatsamajig. What's the
It's at
sign?
least not a crow.
Solanum tuberosum. Is that what this is?
No, sorry, I was reading the one above it. It is. I just sent it over to Sabina. It's Amarilla melia.
Can you imagine a fungal potato?
Hell yeah.
I mean, if you crossbreed them.
Crossbreed.
I wish sometimes I actually just had this knowledge.
You have Wikipedia, though.
True.
But it basically coats the walls as you get deeper in. So it's just kind of like a passive glow at that point.
Like smeared lightning bugs.
Glow-wise, yes.
Okay.
But it's just mushroom walls.
Yep.
Honey mushroom.
I want to ask the old lady if she's traveled outside this region in the last 10 years.
No. This is
It's in California.
Where I've this is where I've been able to post up, basically.
Has she?
It's safe. It's away from the slavers.
I'd like to ask about that. What kind of patterns does she know about these slavers? Like, where do they tend to come from? How often do they come? Do they give off clear signs that if you know what you're looking for, you can anticipate them?
So she knows that they come usually every couple of days, every 3 to 4 days on average. They use thicker wheels on the carts, assumedly so that it can go over the marshy terrain to the south. Telltale signs are if they've been through, you'll find the tracks from the carts. Otherwise, every once in a while you can hear them shouting and whooping as they travel through the swamp.
So they even come all the way out here in the inhospitable swamps.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they come from the south.
Where do they trade? Like, where do they sell to people?
So she doesn't know that, but everybody else in the party who's dealt with these people before, you did find basically a location marked on a map, which is the
hand.
what would be assumed as the headquarters of where these people are kind of heading back to with all these people that they're taking.
That's the hand, right?
Correct, yeah.
And
Where are we?
Are we like
Where are we?
right
Going
between
the
Spain
opposite
and
way.
France currently?
If we pop into visuals.
Yep.
So just, I would say to the south, like where the number 2 is moving to the point at the ridge between France and Spain. You're just to the south of the halfway point, where that the halfway point is where the chapel location was.
Okay.
Between the 2 and the border.
Yeah.
So are we basically at the northern border of Spain?
No, you're just to the south of the midway point between 2 and the border of Spain.
Okay.
It was 6 days to get to the location where you set on fire. It's at least the same distance to Spain, but like I've been saying, as you know, the terrain's getting kind of more and more difficult to travel through. You would expect that to take at some point at least twice as much time as you would expect, as well as the carts are not built for this terrain, so it doesn't have like the wide wheels like the old lady was talking about. So they would likely get stuck.
She's from this area. Does she know of a quicker way to get path, like a secret path that we could that only look?
So she
You're
she kind of talks about the little pool of water that you saw outside at that branch, or outside this little cave. That used to be a longer cave that you could kind of work your way through and come up on the other side of a little bit of a marshy area. Is a little bit rockier where you pop out. But I don't like. She says, I don't know if you can take your carts through here though, unless you like dismantle them and then reassemble them.
I crack my knuckles. Threaten me with a good time.
Well, if we cook them, they're completely edible, though some people have an intolerance. And if anyone is dealing with a neurodegenerative disease, it helps. That's all I've got.
Baron, that's right up your alley.
It's amnesia, okay?
All the raw potato you've been eating.
Hey man, it builds. It's got everything a growing ranger needs, right? You're in the wild, you can't be picky. It's raw potato or it's moss from that tree. And you don't know where that tree's been, okay? So it's got to be the potato.
There you
Well,
go.
we have mushrooms now, so.
A shortcut to what? Mushrooms! Fucking eat mushrooms all day, yo. Real life and in-game life.
Um,
That shit up. Got some onions. Do they have rice in this region or no?
definitely not.
I know. I'll make you guys a great little mushroom sauce. Dude, again, man lived in the wilderness. Man's a Robin Hood. I can make you a nice mushroom stew.
Oh yeah.
We have abrasive Cody's.
Some pine needle tea.
A delicacy, mate. A delicacy.
Absolutely. Can I figure out how to adjust the wheels to better help get through swamp?
Based on what you've heard, it sounds like you need them to be wider to have a wider area to
Can I make like
so that they don't sink.
Can I make like little paddles on the wheels so that they're wider every so often on the wheel?
You could, but they would likely be hard to move over. Like they would probably break if they weren't in just water. Just from like the pressure of the cart being put on it. Or are you you're not talking about like a paddle wheel, are you?
No, I mean like every so often the surface area of the wheel that contacts with the ground is larger.
Like a tank tread almost.
Yes.
You could accomplish that. It would probably take a couple days though.
Days?
To
How many
get the
carts do we have?
materials. You have 3 carts.
Okay.
So basically a cart a day, 4 wheels per day, worth of getting the materials and then repairing them.
Avars needs to become a forge cleric.
You do have at least one party member with a level of exhaustion. And the old lady's like, "Hey, you can fucking chill here as long as you need,
Like a week.
if you want."
I will ask around the party if they would like to stay an entire week in a cave with an old lady in the middle of the swamps.
Of course, you don't have to stay in the cave the whole time. There is
Yeah.
the mana, so like
Magic
I can
wafers
feed you.
and glowing mushrooms.
You can gather resources and stuff
What could go wrong?
because it's going to be a trek. If you're planning on going to the border of Spain,
And that's where all the slavers come from, right?
correct.
Dope.
Well, that's where some of them are coming from. You know, some are coming from the northwest of France. You know, you at least passed some that were going north, but you know where they're kind of going to. So they're technically, I would assume, coming from the hand, but that's where they're all headed, wherever they're coming from.
Okay. Would we all like to stay here for a bit? For a long rest, if you will?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like build up resources and
Certainly.
things like that.
I think whenever we have the option to take rest and pressing is happening, we probably should. Especially considering like metagaming the rules of like we need more long rest, but also just the fact that it's like this is pretty taxing. You know, we got to take the mental breaks. Gather like again, we're having a lot of supplies, which is good. But again, we have opportunities for scouting. We have opportunities for again just amping up our rations, getting more information. So I just think as a whole, we probably should do it more often. Anyway,
Avars would like to assist Ida in training the populace that we're traveling with. And in between helping what little he can, I'm gonna use a lot of that metal that we've taken off of the carts to craft short swords for people.
keep in mind we do still have those 6 other short swords.
Cool. So
Yeah,
I
you
only
guys
need to make
picked up a lot.
10.
Yeah.
That's easy shit, dude. That's
Yeah.
like well,
Easy peasy.
4,
That's
5,
like one
6
cart's worth of rebar.
it's like 6 months of work. No big deal, man. Easy shit.
It's like a week.
Sword.
I could pump out a couple swords a day.
We need more rations. I would suggest we try to collect as many as we can since they're edible.
There you go.
Now all my Google searches are potato shit.
Your algorithm's
I wouldn't
fucked.
eat too many of them. I'm just gonna warn you.
The old lady's also like, "Hey, please don't, like, you can have
Chill.
some, but like, please don't take all of our light source." Thanks.
Yeah,
bro.
we could take some and kind of cultivate it a little bit. I'm definitely gonna have a little bit in my apothecary jars.
Like you can take like a bag's worth,
Okay.
but we also need them. So thanks. You do know that there's like frogs pretty prevalent in this area, so if you did want to go out for like a little hunt, probably get some frog meat if you needed, and stock up a little bit of ration that way. But during this week, if you're spending a week here, you don't need to spend any rations because she's got these good berries from the relic.
Sick.
And then we can build up some hog legs for the road.
Well, frog jerky.
Yeah.
Cool. I think that'll be a good place to end it, because I do need to get to bed at some point here.
Fair.
Valid.
Basically the night of everything happening, you guys settling in, getting all your people, you feel an earthquake, and it's pretty violent. Debris and rocks and little things kind of shake loose from the walls. Nothing falls or anything, of course, but you hear a massive crack, like it's coming from the earth itself, followed by a guttural roar, just a shriek almost from outside of this tunnel, echoing, booming, filling the air. And you hear almost a flush as the water from that little cavern starts to recede. everybody's kind of shaken
Is
by
the old
that
lady
that
panicking?
presence. The
Or-
old lady's she's like holding on to stuff while this is all happening, trying to like cover the girls and like, oh, what the fuck. It is, like I said, frightening to everybody. This it does not sound like it was close. It sounded like this work carries, or it was carried over miles and miles. If you check the next day outside, you actually see a massive crack in the earth, just to the north of this what do I call it, a mangrove, kind of dividing between you and where you were coming from, about a mile out. But that's where I'll end it today. Gucci.
Is the swamp just like draining into this giant hole?
It doesn't seem like it. It actually seems like the tunnel, that was filled with water has receded. So the water is draining from this area at least.
Okay.
Quick question, just a
Mhm.
reminder. Other than Avar's daughter, there's no other children with us, is there?
Nope.
Or
There's the 3 girls that are technically
Well,
with you at the old lady's cave,
right.
but no, everybody else is kind of adult age.
Okay.
Any other last minute questions?
this happened after a week?
This happened the first night.
Okay.
So throughout the week, you have time to, while you're hunting, explore and kind of check out some of this stuff that's changed.
Okay. But nothing immediately pressing. Excuse me. After that first day.
No, yeah, the storm passes. Still
The earth
swampy,
rips
but
open, but
you
everything
found
else
that
is
crack
fine.
to the north. Yeah.
Okay. How deep is it?
How deep is the crack?
Yeah.
It is.
Can we see the bottom?
You cannot see the bottom.
What if I
It
drop
is
a torch?
very, very deep. You kind of see it kind of bounce back and forth off of the jagged, the edge until it kind of goes beyond where the crack goes back and forth and the light's lost. It doesn't sound like it hits a bottom, at least.
Cool.
Sicko man.
Baron, what are the odds?
Sorry, I missed that last part. What?
What are the odds?
8.
1 in 8?
Full of potatoes.
All right.
Damn it.
That's my lucky number.
Joe guy, count us down.
3, 2, 1.
6. Oh, you monster. You didn't even
Monte.
say anything.
Monte.
I've never learned this game. I hear people saying it. I'm like, one part, like, I don't.
You
Like-
said 8, so it's a 1 in 8 chance that you jump down into the pit. And then
Oh, I'll do it. Yeah, okay, I'll do
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
so,
Never mind. I'll just do it.
one
No.
on the
So
downbeat
count
after
down.
1.
Oh, you
counts
want
down
to play
from
it
3.
safe?
The
Number
downbeat
between
after
1
1,
and
you
8.
say a number between 1 and 8 because
Gotcha.
you
It's
called
the
8.
same number you do it.
Got you. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm ready.
All right, on the downbeat.
3, 2, 1.
4.
7.
Cool.
I'm still gonna do it.
Later.
I'm still gonna do it.
This has no impact on the future, but
I'll indulge your game. It's fine. I'm gonna do it. All right.
Word.
Fair
Good game, friends.
Yeah.
Thanks for playing.
All right, guys. Take it easy.
Lizard.
Guys,
You hang up first.
What do you say?
He said you hang up first.
Oh,
no, you do it.
this was an oddly short game.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
hi,
okay.
Via.
Everyone's leaving. That's
Viva.
cool. It's like 10.
Dude, yeah, like what the fuck? We usually barely make it past midnight.
Well, not when we play with
I
Evan.
know, like, why even roll up a character? What the hell happened? Oh,
Is he okay?
we were panicked. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Evan was flustered by something.
Well, he has work tomorrow.
Doesn't
Pretty
he
early.
usually have?
He works retail, so
Oh.
no, but yes, right?
Yeah.
It's like the schedule constantly changes.
Oh, I think he felt like this was a good start to stop, and then he's like, I'm not gonna push it.
I guess so.
Oh.
Damn.
And we also kind of started late. There's a lot of
To be
potato
fair,
talk.
he let potato talk go till like 9, like a solid hour of potato talk.
Yeah.
Damn, I don't think I've had such a short
Yeah, that was like
D
less
and
than
D
2
session.
hours.
Yeah, that was like an hour 45. Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. Well,
I still have like a lot of my drink left.
dude,
I know.
So much to
same.
do.
So much alcohol.
I didn't. Yeah.
Play game. What game are we playing?
Man, I wish I was there. You guys are gonna have a fun night. I'm gonna
Discord drinking games.
look
Where's
at the
Zach?
cards.
Get
We'll
Zach
blow
back
on
here.
them.
Get Zach back
Yeah,
here.
get some people back.
True.
We'll all drink together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they all just left because they felt like they had to.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
we're telling them they